Panthers 2017 season game. And it's sort of like what got Wentz into the Pro Bowl, I think, because he outshined another NFC quarterback, Cam Newton. And it was a great Thursday night battle. Obviously, this was before the knee injury. But needless to say, he had a great game. And we're also going to go over why teams are now looking for that Wentz-type player moving forward. You know, strong-armed quarterback who's athletic, big frame. There's a couple guys that I have in mind in the NFL currently that are like that. Paxton Lynch is one of them. For the Broncos, he was went to a sort of a smaller school in Memphis. You know, Division I, FBS level, smaller school. But he's another guy that comes to mind that's similar, athletic. Ran a good time at the Combine last year, or 2 years ago, I should say. Athletic big guy with a big arm. And, of course, Josh Allen coming into the league this year. Highly touted player out of Wyoming. Again, sort of a smaller school, but just like Carson Wentz, smaller school. Paxton Lynch, smaller school. These three guys have a lot in common. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk a little bit about what Wentz did in this game to get himself into the Pro Bowl. And how are the Eagles going to move forward with Wentz as well. So let's start with the film. You're going to see the Panthers here in the powder blue, obviously. And the Eagles in the white. So the big thing here we're going to keep our eye on, obviously, is the Eagles offense. We're not going to watch too much. We might go back and review a little bit of the Panthers stuff just to compare Cam Newton, again, another big-armed, big-body, athletic quarterback. So you can see here as the game starts, you're going to see a trips bunch to the top of the screen here, to the boundary. With it looks like Ertz is in the wing position on the trips little bunch, and then you got an interesting matchup out here with Alshon Jeffrey on a corner. But you're going to notice that they can play Wentz from shotgun. They played him a little bit in pistol, not too much, but under center primarily. Because don't forget, the coach from the Eagles is a Andy Reid guy. Andy Reid's system is a West Coast, primarily under center stuff. A lot of boot action, a lot of running the ball, and he carried that over to Philadelphia and obviously won a Super Bowl versus the New England Patriots. So you're going to see he's under center. Right off the bat, he's got a crunch line of scrimmage. You got a heavy rush coming. Looks like it's going to be 5 or 6 guys here. Little run blitz. Probably could have checked out of that when they started motioning up. You're going to see it here from a better angle. As the guys start pursuing the line of scrimmage here. What the hell is that? You're going to see as these guys come up onto the line of scrimmage, he probably should have made a check call here. As it showed, the numbers showed that you can't run this play here. For the simple fact that you've got the ball's going to the field side or the right side, and you've got a guy in this gap here, a guy in this gap here, and a guy in this gap here. And then you got Luke Kuechly, who's going to be scraping over to the inside A gap, and a flowing linebacker who's sort of away from the play. There's just not enough numbers to the run side, especially with the blitz where this guy's going to be coming up. So this double team right here cannot be existent with a pressure to the gap. And as you see, they actually run power or a single back power. Some people might call it a single back counter. I call it single back power because you're bringing the backside guard to the front side. And again, these guys do a good job of closing up the gaps. Like I said before, you can't double here and you have a pull. there's too many guys lined up to the gap side with the gap pressure as well. It's hard to get guys flowing to the ball. As far as if you're on the defensive side of the ball, it's hard to get guys flowing to that side of the ball. But that's that's one of those things that you sort of have to adjust to in a game. That's quarterback's responsibility is to adjust to that. And you see this guy was left off the edge here, and he makes the play in the backfield because the run hole gets stuffed. Again, that's on Wentz to make a check call here because there's just too much. There's just too much at the line of scrimmage. Too many guys in the inside gaps. But this is actually a really good film of his. Again, the one thing about Andy Reid's offense, and the one thing about I can't remember his name. The head coach of the Eagles. For some reason, his name, Doug Peterson. For some reason, his name was eluding me. The one thing that those two coaches have in common is they typically are known for scripting their first 15 plays, which means it's not really up to the quarterback to make line checks. It's just get to the line and stick to the script. So it probably would have been to their benefit to actually come out of this play, but regardless, they make a play in the backfield, set up a second down and long. You see second down and 11 here. All right, so now we got a trip set to the bottom of the field. We got an isolation to the top, and we have this. This is probably their most popular run set here, where it is the single back shotgun with an offset tailback. He is not laterally adjusted. He is more to a stagger, one-by-one stagger to the quarterback, which means you can run a little bit more inside run with that. But again, we're here to talk about Wentz. He does a great job in this offense, as well as Foles, but they do a good job here. So he goes to the isolation side here, and this is something, again, what NFL scouts are looking at right now in the college game. Do they have strong-arm quarterbacks who can make this throw and make these reads, stand in the pocket, feel the pressure? Very easy to make this throw. You got trips to the bottom of the side. You got an isolation over here with a high safety. Looks like it might be a quarters look. Nope, they roll down a safety. It's a cover 3. And again, there's no flat defender over here. Wentz realizes that pretty quickly and makes a quick, nice, easy throw to the bottom of the numbers. So the numbers here, as far as throwing concept, is you got a high safety with no flat defender. So this should be converted to man-to-man, which they don't do. And it's a nice, easy throw, great read, smart quarterback making an easy throw. That's what you're supposed to do in the NFL. Make the easy throws when they're available. And he does just that. Let his receiver work a little bit. I think that's Smith from the Ravens, longtime Raven. All right, so here, interestingly enough, third play of the game, and they're making some checks at the line. And so they're just making some protection calls here in the backfield. Blount is. Typically, you can tell a guy, a running back's not getting the ball if his chin strap's not done. Blount here is pretty obvious here. Again, he's able to hold the ball, stand strong in the pocket. I mean, look at this delivery. That was perfect. This is what he displayed at North Dakota State. Was his ability to stand strong in the pocket. That's what NFL scouts like, and that's what they're expecting. That's what the NFL scouts and guys are looking for currently in the NFL. Even a guy like Tom Brady, he was able to stand strong in the pocket, take some hits, release the ball quickly. He moves well in there. Again, same thing with Wentz. He's a lot more athletic than most quarterbacks. Wentz, he can really kind of make plays in the pocket. He make plays outside the pocket. That's what NFL scouts are looking for. Guys that are durable and can run, because you're kind of starting to see that guys that are smaller and who can run in the NFL, they're not lasting too long. We saw that with Mike Vick 10 years ago. You know, Mike Vick was having a great career, but he was a smaller guy and he was getting the crap kicked out of him. And you're not gonna make it very long in the NFL if you're not available. You know, Bill Belichick says that all the time. You know, it's your best ability is availability, or I believe it's something along those lines. So if you're not available, then you're not any good to the team. So again, they're looking for strong, big arm quarterbacks. That's what the NFL scouts are looking for right now. That's why Josh Allen is a top commodity in this year's draft, because he is one of those players. He's athletic, he can move, right? And he's also big, he's durable. Makes great decisions. That's what they're looking for currently. Even Josh Rosen's a pretty big guy. But look how he just stands in the pocket. He moves his body around really well. You're going to see him go to the, looks like the number 2 receiver to the outside. Good little side adjustment by the receiver. Let's see if we can get it from the other angle here. Nelson Aguilar maybe who made that catch. So you're going to see he's looking to the boundary side primarily here. Nothing's available. Holds onto the ball. Stays strong in the pocket. Again, good pass protection as well. That always helps. The receiver side adjusts, which means he makes an adjustment on the fly when the pattern isn't open. So he runs his original pattern, which is like a little, looks like a little stop pattern or a hitch right here. So he's going to stop. He sees the zone is taken, so he tries to find this void right in here behind this inside linebacker. I believe that's Luke Kuechly. Finds the gap, makes the easy catch, then a pretty good run after catch to make the play. If you can get this middle linebacker as a quarterback, if you can get this middle linebacker in no man's land in zone coverage, and you're not getting pressure with 4 guys, if you're not getting pressure with 4 guys and you can get that middle linebacker lost, you are going to shred that zone. I don't care what zone it is. See right here? Here's that opening behind the linebacker. The linebacker's lost in space here. There's nobody to be found here. He's not really finding work. He's sort of spying the quarterback, and the quarterback's sitting back there for a long time. Again, strong, big posture, not afraid to take a hit. That's what they're looking for. Boom, sees it, drops it in there. Even Kaiser is a good example of that for the Browns. Played at Notre Dame. He's a perfect example of that. He's a strong, athletic, big guy. Huntley for the Packers, another one. They're out there, you know. So again, they're in their one of their favorite formation, backfield formations here, backfield alignments, I should say. It's a 1-by-1 formation, alignment for the tailback, where he's just off 1-by-1, which means 1 yard outside, 1 yard behind, a little stagger. And so right here, it looks like one of those little RPO plays. I mean, I don't know their playbook too well, but it does look like he catches him. Looks like he catches the defense in an alignment that he likes. Otherwise, if it was an RPO, he would have definitely pulled this ball because there was a cat blitz to the boundary. When I say cat blitz, I mean that there's a corner coming off the edge. So he would have caught that if that was an RPO because his eyes are out here on that corner. And they get a favorable matchup inside and they run it. I mean, that's, easy. Again, smart decision by an athletic quarterback who's a dual threat. See, as you can see, his eyes are to the corner, and that corner blitzes. And even though they blitz, they're still able to ride this inside and make a good run. That's why they were a good team. They could run the ball really well this year. They controlled the clock. I mean, you can see they're already in a 1.5, 2 minute drive here. And they're only at the 40-yard line, but they're consistent. So there's his big mistake in this game was the strip fumble. I'm not quite sure he could have done much about this. Again, every quarterback is going to make their mistakes. Nobody's flawless. I mean, did he hold the ball too long? I don't know. Let's take a look at let's look at what he's seeing here. So it looks like he's seeing a cover 3. Sorry, no, cover 4, where you got 4 guys deep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hard to throw a vertical concept against this coverage, and they're running a vertical concept. So as you can see, you got the number 1 to the right is running deep +6. He's going +6 yards. He's going +6 yards. He's going +6 yards. And you should have a running back coming out of the backfield here. So to run 4 verticals versus 4 vertical coverage, it might not be very successful. So they're in a pretty good coverage here. Wentz has to hold the ball. This guy looks like he probably should have broken that off with the sticks probably. But either way, bad play by the Eagles, and causes them to hold the ball. Strip sack, bringing it back. See how he holds the ball. Again, he's a big guy. He can take the hits. He can take the lumps. He's not going to be perfect. And it is what it is. So we'll watch a little bit of the Panthers because, again, strong arm quarterback, big body. That's exactly what we're talking about today. Athletic, big bodies who can make throws. Big arms. Second down and 9 for Newton and the Panthers. So this looks like this might be one of their quick passing concepts here. Yep, little spot concept. As you can see, this guy, all 3 of these guys run little zone beaters. And they try to throw the ball to the flat. There's a guy there anyways. Sort of a bad read. I don't know why he was obsessed with the... See, that's the other thing about quarterbacks a lot of the times is that they want to go to the space and to the cleaner side of the field. When I say cleaner side of the field, you know, obviously with a bunch, with zone, it's sort of messy. Where over here, it's more defined. You got 2 guys on 2 guys, maybe 3, depending on where they drop the coverage and where this middle linebacker drops to. So he sort of looks off to the weak side of the field here, and he holds the ball a little bit too long. This allows the linebacker to drive. He would have disrupted the play anyways, maybe got a gain of 1 or 2. Sort of a bad read here. Because as you can see, he could have easily dropped the ball right in between the numbers and the hash right here. But it's a tough concept versus a good zone coverage. All right, so now they got their versatile back in the backfield. McCaffrey out of Stanford. You see a bad read here. Bad read by the quarterback. He's trying to push the guys out. He's trying to find a good concept. It's just there's nothing there. 3rd down and long. Tough play to make. Probably would have been better off. This guy right here, the number 2, occupied. Right here, this guy, number 2, second guy from the sideline, right here. He occupied, the number 1 occupied the deep defender over here. So you had, who's that, Ted Ginn down here underneath in the flat, who maybe could have caught the ball, made a play, maybe worked for the first down. But instead, he threw to the covered guy. Pass is deflected. Luckily, it wasn't intercepted. Moving on to 4th down. Fourth down and 9. Skipped 1. We're going to go 2nd down. So we got a spread formation here. 2nd down and 10. As you can see, Looks like they're in a 4 shell, which is too high with 2 corners deep. So cover 4 like we saw before with that 4 vertical play where he had the strip sack. So he's out here making adjustments to the line of scrimmage, being a smart quarterback, taking his time, trying to figure out the defense. Where's my best place to go to? Makes a good throw. Again, lets Nelson Aguilar work underneath the zone. Perfect example of a big body quarterback making an easy throw. Drop it in there nice and easy. Smart, take your time, know the coverage. That's the thing about spread, that 5 wide receiver set, is that a lot of the times you can only run so many coverages versus that as a team for your base because it's considered like an exotic formation a lot of the times. So you pretty much know what they're going to be in. So he takes a sack here. Sometimes that's your best play. Let's see what happens. You got a 5-man rush with a zone. So this is called a 33 fire zone. So 33 fire zone refers to 3 guys deep and 3 under with a 5-man pressure. So usually your flats or your seams are the vulnerable parts of the zone. On 3rd down and I think it's 3rd down and 10 maybe. You can take that. You can give up the flats, I mean. Quarterback's got to know that, though. You got to see your flat and let your guy work. Really got real protection issues here. Nobody covered the... you had a little slant. Probably would have been better off maybe sticking here. I think that's Brent Selleck. Brent Selleck. I think that's who that is. How much time we got out?
Ready.
Okay. So here's the athleticism that we were talking about. So we got a situation where the quarterback's going to take off running. He finds a lane, and I mean he's a big guy. Looks like they got tagged for a holding by Alshon Jeffrey to the sidelines here, but nice easy zone read. I mean, as you can see here, they had a 2-on-2. The Panthers had a mismatch. So when I say 2-by-2, they had this guy right here coming off the edge hot to pick up the running back who's cutting across the quarterback's face. So it's called the cross key on the perimeter. Cross key refers to this guy's crossing to him and Wentz is crossing to him. So it looks like, I don't know if that's Charles, the defensive end here. He was responsible for Wentz on this cross key. And for some reason he chased, even though... one second. He chased despite the numbers, where again we had a cross key going here. The inside guy takes the cross the face player, and again if they were to run something like a speed option, it would be the same sort of situation, where again I've got this guy, I've got the outside, you've got inside, cross key. So if they were to run a sprint out to the perimeter here, this guy would pick up the Blount, and this blitzer would pick up Wentz. But again, they lose their integrity, their gap integrity. They don't stay disciplined, and they both end up chasing the running back. That's easy for a fast guy like Wentz to hit this. I mean, look at him go. And then they do end up tagging him for a hold. He didn't need to hold, but 2nd down and 6. So they got him back under center here. Good play action. Again, look how he gets his hips around. That's what NFL scouts are looking for right there. Can this guy get his hips around, even though he's big, even though he has a strong arm? Can he get his hips around right here on this play action and make a throw downhill? Yes, yes, yes. All 3, yes. That's why he's one of the top NFL quarterbacks and was touted as such coming out of North Dakota State. See, watch how he turns the corner with his hips. That is very hard to defend. With a quarterback who can move and throw downhill like this, that is very difficult to defend. So a good run by Blount here. We saw this with him in New England. He broke off runs that were just, you know, again, we've got the nose tackle coming under here. It looks like it's the nose tackle. Is this a wham play? Yep, we got a wham. We got a wham play going here by the offense. Wham refers to the tight end coming in and trapping the one technique. Sometimes it's a three technique, but typically it's a one technique. So that's what you see here. The trap. And again, you've got them where you want them. I mean, you've got outside integrity here. You've got inside gap integrity. You got pressure on the point of attack. I mean, the point of mesh. And then you have an inside gap hold right here by 31. He just, you know, he got mugged a little bit there. Might have been a hold. I don't know. You gotta play better defense than that though, especially if you're blitzing. So again, smart play by Wentz. Just give the ball off and then duck your shoulders. See how he ducks his shoulders under here? Again, a good attribute of Wentz is a guy who gets his shoulders underneath the mesh point, drops his shoulders down, makes it look like it's hard to tell who has the ball, and then bring your shoulders around, freeze that defense just a little bit. That's all you're trying to do is freeze that defense just for a half a second. Let them get their feet into statue mode, which means they're stuck. And that little freeze is what creates a big run, right? Because if the defense stops moving, then you're going to have time. Your offense is going to have time to make a play. So again, you got your little single back going here. Little handoff. Makes a play in the backfield. Probably should have checked out of this play, but that's okay. I don't know if they had anything pre-snap. I didn't see it. Pre-snap, it looks like there might have been some indication of a little run stunt, because this guy shot in and you could see him starting to cheat over before the snap. See if we can catch it. See right here. See how he goes from a stack position? 58 goes from a stack position on the 3 technique to an inside shade. That right there is usually an indicator that you got a run stunt coming. And right here, 79 is trying to indicate to the center, hey, we got a slant. Or a gap exchange. See how he tags him. 93 comes through the backfield untouched. 62 is like, ah, crap. Then they just sort of do an okay job of corralling at the line of scrimmage. Quarterback there made a mistake. But again, you take some of those hits with a young quarterback of patience. Let the offensive line set their stuff. Make sure everybody's on the same page as far as the offensive line is concerned. And that starts with coming out of the huddle quick, or, you know, if it's a no huddle, it's about getting to the line quickly. And then the Colts were really good at that. They would run a no huddle, up-tempo offense to the line of scrimmage. And then they would settle things down and let everybody figure stuff out. That's what young quarterbacks need to learn. That's why Wentz has some stuff that he needs to work on. One of his big weaknesses is his inability to sort of settle down, be patient, just enough, just a half second, maybe a second more, let those offensive linemen communicate, figure things out, and then go from there. What do we get for a situation here? 2nd down and 10 on the plus 35, so they're moving into Panthers territory. You got a 2-by-2 set. Again, he lets his guys reset. See how these guys are communicating up front? He gave them the time. I'm sure they came back at the line of scrimmage. They came back from the line of scrimmage to the huddle. The offensive line says, hey, you know, Carson, give us maybe a second or two more to figure stuff out. That's usually what NFL linemen are doing when they come back to the huddle. We're not having enough time to talk. There you go. Again, that wasn't enough time. That was a QB error, because if you're going to see it right here, these guys right here are still talking. Right here, the center and 79 are still in communication. 62 and 79 are still in communication. See, he looks back over to the right guard and he says, "Wait a minute, what?" Watch, you're going to see it. The quarterback, that's a failure on the quarterback's end to wait for his lineman to make those sets. And then the left guard is the guy who ends up getting beat across his face. I believe they're supposed to double team this here. They're supposed to ace. I call it ace. I don't know what the hell everybody else calls it, but between the center and the guard, there's a double team release to Luke Kuechly, which they do a good job of. This guy right here probably could have created a little bit more leverage at the point of attack here, especially considering the fact that he's the shaded one. 62 is the actual shaded one. So 62's got to hold that block a little bit better. He's got to create more of a wall, hold his gap, and then go to the next level. But again, that comes down to the fact that the center was not ready to snap the ball. 79 and 62 are still talking when Wentz snaps the ball. See how he turns his head? And he's not ready for that snap. That's on Wentz. So he's got to work on that. He's got to work on his timing, being more patient, and understanding that the linemen have communications to discuss. And then it just creates chaos in the backfield, and 3rd down and 7. See, this is what professional scouts are trained to see. We're trained to see the small things like, okay, so we saw that the center missed the shade double team, but why did he miss it, right? Was it on him? Is it him? Is it something that, you know, say I'm working for the Chiefs or whatever, or say I'm working for the Panthers, and I noticed that on film that Wentz is sort of quick to the huddle. So we're going to move guys around a little bit because Wentz is always quick to call the snap, you know? So if he's quick to call the snap, then we can move our shades around and we can make line stunts, or we can kick the crap out of the communication guys because they're not going to be ready to snap the ball if the timing's off with the communication. So while those guys might know where they're going, they're still, like, that center was still in the thought process of, okay, so I'm double teaming releasing here, because everything is based off of fronts. So they're going to come out at inside zone or whatever, and whatever front they see, it's an ace call, which is between center and guard, or a deuce call, which is between guard and tackle, or we call it a tray call, which is between the tackle and the tight end. All those calls change. The play stays the same. The inside zone stays the same, but the play changes according to the front. So whatever the defense gives you, you then have to make an adjustment and communicate what that adjustment is. Now that's on the quarterback to be like, hey, I got an ace here. The quarterback's got to be like, okay, they got ace. You know, let them figure that out, and then let them settle down and go. I love how he moves around. He senses pressure. He's very good at figuring it out. Figure out where the pressure is. You got a 5-man line stunt going here. He slides his feet to the outside. He sees it. I mean, he throws to the contact. Probably could have drawn a penalty there, but, you know, lived to play another down. Good stuff. Is that one deflected? Looks like it might have been deflected by Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly scrapes around here. Gets over the top. He's now the contained guy. It doesn't look like he deflected. It looks like it's just a bad release. Sort of a safe throw to the sideline. Again, smart decision by a quarterback because they're in field goal range here. If he takes a sack there, they're now looking, instead of what are they lined up on, the 33-yard line? So instead of a 50-yard field goal, they're looking at a 57-yard field goal depending on where he got sacked. So it's good to make just a safe throw to the sidelines. Let his guy be able to compete for the ball, but also don't take a sack and don't throw a pick. So just let your guy compete, live to play another down. Let your special teams unit come in, end the series on a kick. You got it. Big, strong arm quarterbacks. I love it. It's what the league is turning into if you watch it close enough. If you watch it close enough, you're seeing that these quarterbacks, they're starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's just a simple fact of guys can perform. It's tough to cover that extra gap that a running quarterback or a mobile quarterback can create. And if he's big, he's going to do it for a long time. Like Ben Roethlisberger is even good at that. He can move, and he's been around for a long time. And he can take the hits. Good play. This is McCaffrey. Sometimes it's just better to let your guys, these small guys, work, and keep the defense. This is actually really good. Probably should look at this a little bit more. So Cam does a good job of keeping the quarterback, the defense, the zone defense. This is a zone coverage. The zone coverage means that the defenders are looking in at the quarterback. So whatever you do, they do typically, especially the underneath guys. They're really reacting on your every twitch, where the deep guys are sort of sinking and dipping back no matter what. But these guys are all predicated off of your drop. If you're a 3-step drop, they're sinking quickly and stopping. And then if you're in a 5, they're sinking, and then rotating. So it's depending on what you do, they do. So Cam does a great job here of keeping his eyes and shoulders in the middle near the hashes, which also keeps the defenders in the middle near the hashes. And then he quickly throws the check down. Can't tell if is that a screen here? Looks like this might be a screen. But again, even if it's a screen, whatever, your job is to keep that defense in the middle of the field with your shoulders and your eyes. And then stretch it out to the sidelines, and hopefully you can beat them outside bottom of the numbers. Great job by a quarterback who has a reputation of just sort of going out there and just being athletic. Right there, he did a good job of being athletic and using his mind, which is super important in this NFL. Because everybody can move in this NFL. So you got to be able to outsmart people. This is starting to get more popular. This little, he ran this a lot actually at Auburn. This formation here, where you got it's a slight offset by the tailback and a little wing in the backfield. It's a 2-by-1 set, a little cross action protection. This is a shot play. Yep, they took the shot, they got the penalty. There's 2 of 3 outcomes, or the 2 of the 3 outcomes on a shot play in the NFL are: it's going to be a pass interference, it's going to be a good catch deep down the field. That's 2/3 of the equation, and your 1/3 of the equation is something to do with the defense, whether they get their hands on it, whether it's like an interception, or it's going to be incomplete. So that's a defensive win. So the offense has 2 options to win, the defense has 1. So they got him under center here. They run a little boot out. Oh, a little end around sweep. Pretty quick play. Zip around the side. Can you answer that for me?
Hello.
So we just saw the outside version of that. The telemarketer or something. So we just saw the inverted version of what we saw a few plays ago, where Cam kept the defense to the middle of the field and dropped it out. Now he's keeping the defense to the outside of the field and dropping it in. Smart play. So you're going to see his eyes and shoulders are to the sideline, then he drops it inside the numbers. Smart play. Big body, smart play, hard to beat. Boom. What a throw. I mean, Jesus. What a laser beam. This guy's something else. It's hard to lose games with him back there, I tell you. I think he won national championship in high school, national championship at junior college, national championship at Auburn. Was in a Super Bowl. Obviously, we know what happened there with the Broncos versus the Broncos. But he's a tough guy to stop. Got second down and 13. This is where quarterbacks make money. Whew. So a lot of chaos here. They're getting better and better at this. I think you're going to see more of this formation in 2018 with the Panthers. When they drafted, McCaffrey, this is what I envision them running a lot of, is this pony set, as the Patriots call it, a pony set, which is two running backs in the backfield. They use like James White and Dion Lewis, or they used just quicker running backs typically in the backfield at the same time. This is what I envisioned when I saw that they drafted him. So right here they got these two scat guys in the backfield. Looks like that actually might be a tight end. And then he drives it to that outside. Beautiful throw. Smart play. Patience. I mean, look at this pressure. This is why you want a big, strong-arm quarterback. This is why, because these guys right here are going to take a hit, and you can be able to drive the ball to the outside. Beautiful. Great throw. Don't at me. Yeah, so this is actually a tight end. I was wrong. But this is what I think they're going to be doing more of in 2018. This formation. But this guy right here might be a running back. McCaffrey does a good job here, stepping in and taking a block on by the Nigel Bradham, Florida State guy. That's a tough block. Great catch. Just give me 1 second here. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this stream. You can go back. It's going to be archived in the files. So feel free to go take a look at it. With that, I'm going to go eat some dinner and enjoy.